Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Crystal Dynamics production.
Who's Crystal Dynamics?
Aren't they the people?
Are you familiar with the recent Tomb Raider games?
I was
They
about
did
to
those.
bring that up, actually.
I thought that was Square Enix.
No, they just published it. Oh yeah, remember when those guys were a thing?
Yeah.
May they rest in
Yeah.
peace.
From the public's eye, I have resigned myself to a life of solitude.
What?
For 2 years, I started my day watching kung fu theater.
Sorry, we're not talking too much, but we don't interrupt
I know.
Dana Gold.
Oh, of course not.
Easy telethon. The next thing I know, some government goons show up at my place. It seems they
Poorly, badly rendered secret agent goons.
he's back in the media.
The horror.
I'm crazy enough to go back in after him. So he's on the way to interrogation.
Oh, I was expecting something far worse. Come on, start talking, lizard
Oh,
lips.
oh, jeez. Why are they interrogating him? He saved the world.
I give a little back.
Do you have the piece of resistance?
Of course, they would resist to an old fart joke. This was back before they became tasteless.
In one of those secret
Here,
agent suits,
give him money.
and I tell him we got a deal. Looks like I'm headed back into the media dimension. It's gonna be deja ouch all over again.
Oh, you said it, Gex boy. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our look at on Gex. Enter the Gecko. The Gecko's first foray into the third dimension.
Oh my, Rez is just as weird as looking as ever.
Yep. In fact, you'd say he's even more so because he looks a little more rezzed up than before.
Oh,
So yeah, welcome to the world of Gex through the media dimension.
how do you get into the media dimension? Don't ask. He just finds his own way here.
Yeah, it's not like in the last game where he just got sucked through his own TV through Rez's own claws. No, he
Yeah.
just goes through a limo and calls it a day. Not sure how that begins to work, but anyway, much like the original Gex game, you can jump, you can use your tongue, and you can use your tail for some good old tail time.
Yeah, of course.
But now we're in 3D.
Yep, which gonna mean a lot of hilariously awkward physics.
Well, it's early 3D.
Yep, 3D, and that's about all it's got going for it. Just
So,
gaze at this marvelous draw distance.
yeah, PS1 draw distance. I mean, what would you say? How do you think this game holds up as a platformer?
It's aged, but it's got its moments here and there.
Also, get used to him having his own little things to talk about. And once again, we're looking for remotes.
Well, of course, that's kind of like in the first game. He never shuts up.
Yep, and well, honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
Though I do know in Europe he actually was voiced by.
I'm trapped in Boy George's pants.
Lovely to know, Gex. But anyway, I know in British-speaking territories he did get a different voice actor who was some sort of British comedian. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
more
but-
suave, which is actually a little unfitting for the character.
Yeah, it's so, and I imagine it's just as odd hearing that very suave, sophisticated voice spewing out all these stupid puns that he says.
Yeah, tell me about it. And giving it its own British flair.
So, let's see. So, tell us about, this world we're in and what we're doing here.
Alright, so our level here is obviously cartoon themed, and it's a little more campy than the last game, which was a little more modern-esque. Now, one thing to take note of is that each stage has its own specific collectibles. In this case, we got carrots, but once we collect enough of them, they will turn into spinach can. Or no, I think it's carrots, then spinach. Or no, carrots, then spinach cans, and then finally TNT plungers.
What's that wing icon, the bottom right?
That's our camera. It's free run. Okay, yeah, we got spinach cans now. But anyway, the icon on the bottom right just shows what camera mode you're in right now.
Oh, so this is free aim.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Or rather, I think it's either free aim or semi-automatic.
Okay.
Oh boy, here. What else? The anvils. What's next? The kitchen sink?
That's gonna fall,
The
isn't
kitchen
it?
sink. There, just a Marge. Large Marge.
Large Marge.
Homer!
Yeah, pretty much.
I was going for the elaborate yet somewhat out of the way crap.
Ow.
What's it called? Pee-wee's Playhouse reference, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Pee-wee's
Oh,
Big
gotcha.
Adventure. I don't think I've ever seen that film fully though. Like I think I might have seen a bit at the beginning, but that's about it.
Secret friend.
Same here. I mean, I've only seen so much of it.
I only saw that one scene. I remember, for some reason, Pee-wee's Playhouse being big on Adult Swim for a little while.
Which is weird.
Well, it isn't exactly the most... Well, yeah. Well, to be fair, it's not exactly the most kid-friendly of movies anyway. But,
Well, I was gonna say,
No, he
probably
means the
like,
show.
It's a TV show, probably because they...
oh, the
probably 'cause-
show.
I was gonna say, probably because they realized that if you watch it while you're high, it's the most craziest thing ever.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, you'd swear you were high just watching that show, even if you were sober.
That's true.
True. I was like, wait, what's happening anymore?
Yep, it's like
Anyway, sorry. So,
Ooh,
whoa,
boy.
something nice level.
Yeah, in Toonland, the ecosystem knows no limits. But anyway, oh yeah, now we got a secret remote. There's one in each level, and collecting enough of them will open up certain levels. Same case with every other remote, obviously.
Careful, careful. Do we, are there, oh jeez, Large Marge.
Where's that kitchen sink? Ow! I was expecting a
Alright.
kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are there any, what's that big TV there?
That is actually for another mission we can tackle later on. Or, well, actually, we can do it right now if we want to, but that's actually not the focus of what we're going to be doing right now. So yeah, now the Spinach cans have turned into TNT plungers, and once you collect another 40 or 50 of those, you get an extra silver remote.
Okay. Are there any special power-ups we can get?
There are a small handful. Like some of them can actually turn you invincible by literally
Wabbit
lighting.
oh boy.
Oh, it's Wabbit season. Well, we better dress up for the occasion. Yep.
Huh.
Because when it's Wabbit season, it makes perfect sense to dress up as a
Oh, my
duck.
fun!
Oh boy.
Ow.
He went there! Kill him!
Yeah, they did. He did. But anyway, actually, one of the missions in this version of TV in Toon TV or whatever it's called, if you defeat two of the pseudo Elma Fuds, you'll actually get another red remote. Red remotes are pretty much the most common of them, and they're pretty much the equivalent of this game's Power Stars.
You know, I hear you talking about like different missions and whatnot, so I guess this kind of goes without saying. Is the Gex 2 supposed to be a more mission-based game than the first one is?
Yes. Honestly, this game is essentially a Super Mario 64 rip-off in the loosest sense.
Gotcha. I was just kind of curious because
Kind of in a similar vein to how Banjo-Kazooie was sort of a Mario knockoff in terms of its level structure.
I was about to say this feels like it's
Aw.
oh boy.
That's rather sad. But anyway, what was it you were bringing up, Steve?
I was just saying that it's kind of interesting how when it comes to this era in gaming, it's like, I guess understandably so, a lot of 3D platformers at the time, with the exception of maybe Sonic Adventure, were like trying their dangest to try to cash off the structure that Mario 64 had. Because, you know, you have something like this, Banjo-Kazooie kind of goes without saying, and then you have Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, which we talked about a good while ago, which is kind of like, I guess looking back on it, it's kind of like 64, but it's a lot more linear in a sense of like... yeah, actually, never mind. It kind of has a similar thing. I was about to say it's more linear in the sense if you can only get like one star in one mission, but then I realized no way you can't technically get more than one in there.
Those are the time, baby.
Unfortunately, in Gex's case, it's a little more like the Mario 64 rules. You can only collect one red remote at a time. So unfortunately, once we go up to this giant TV right here, grab the red remote, we're out of here.
Beam me up, Scotty.
That's not the actual line. Just saying. In fact, I don't think that was ever even said. Period.
It's paraphrasing. Liberties.
Come to think of it, how did that whole trope come into being? Okay, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I mean, I don't know. We're not really the biggest Star Trek nerds anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll just go ahead and save my progress, and then we're gonna move on to the second level trope that'll be available to us right from the get-go, the horror-themed TV setting.
You mean from the get-go?
Yep, from the Gecko. See,
that's a
now you too can be a Matt.
That's a Matt joke. I like them, though.
That's fair.
He's going to
By
punch
the way,
you.
Matt, if you're watching this, we're sorry.
No, you're not.
Hey, I have my jokes, he owns up his jokes, and we have them. Semi-automatic and what?
semi-automatic and manual. I think when it's semi-automatic, it just means is that you still have free reign, but there's going to be times where they will change the camera accordingly.
Not Hellraiser, Smellraiser.
Yeah, they all have quirky names.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but every time I hear semi-automatic, I always immediately think of guns, and in this instance, it just makes me think for a split second, wait, we're using guns in this game?
From the outside.
No, that's the point. I think of semi-automatic guns usually too. Anyway, careful, we're in a creepy stage.
I wouldn't be surprised if there would have been a point in this game where you could use actual gunplay, but no, it's strictly a 3D platformer.
I guess I'll ask: Are you thinking of looking at Gex 3? What the heck?
I don't really want to begin to know who the hell that's supposed to be. But actually, I don't really have that much experience with Gex 3, and honestly, with the little experience I do have, it was by the time I was kind of phased out of. Let's just say I don't have that much nostalgia for it, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna try it or not.
Alrighty.
That's
oh
fair.
My.
Ooh.
Well, to give these guys credit, at least they do some mimicry of the 3D space.
Yeah.
I mean, not too many games you see where the walls actually turn into a gaping mouth.
Yeah.
Don't mind me while I take your millions of skulls. Now,
Thank goodness.
yeah, actually going back to it, yeah, Crystal Dynamics. I mean, one of their first major games was the Gex game, like way back in '95 with the pre-rendered all that jazz. But afterwards and after the Gex series, they moved on to quite a number of different projects. Like I know they did this one foot racing type of game for the Xbox, which Gex was actually an unlockable character in, and yeah, I mean, yeah, you actually got to see Gex in a game of that time period for the first time and the only time. But other than that, they were also responsible for they were actually responsible for getting Lara Croft out of a rut after that really awful PS2 Tomb Raider game.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say I liked her. I liked the reboot so far. I still need to play Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, not just the like the
Mona Lisa is turned on.
oh dear. But anyway,
artful.
what was I trying to say? Yeah. How tasteful. But yes, master, I shall step into the light.
Oh.
Too bright, too bright.
Very too bright.
Where are my
Anyway,
sunglasses?
Yeah. Anyway, what was I trying to say here? Oh, cool, extra life. Yeah, they rebooted the Tomb Raider series, starting with Legends, and then they went on with like doing the anniversary game, which is actually really good. And then Underworld, and then they did that whole gritty ass reboot where they pretty much try to make Lara Croft into a more relatable character by being able to shoot up bad guys without any effort.
Yeah, I guess it's the problem. It's like, oh, I get the idea. They're trying to make a more vulnerable. A more vulnerable, like the whole point was that she wasn't like experienced with this, but she kind of knows how to handle weaponry surprisingly well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that game's still pretty good.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Well, okay, then I'll take your word on that. It's just that when you think about what she's capable of, she's honestly not that much relatable than she was in like the original games.
I would consider playing the game for you,
Kick your butt.
Oh, really?
like for the channel.
Alrighty.
But yeah, I think it's...
Also, we're collecting Jason masks.
Yep.
Well then.
We're collecting the faces of Jim Cummings' mask.
Oh yeah, from Slaughterhouse.
Oh, and Chucky.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard you...
Man, so many.
I was about to say, I've heard you mention that Slaughterhouse remake a few times. Have you ever considered maybe doing a look at of it soon?
I would
That's
if
what
I
was
still.
saying. Wait, what are we talking?
I would if I still had my PS3.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The Slaughterhouse remake.
The Splatterhouse.
Or Splatterhouse,
Splatterhouse.
that's what I meant. Right.
I thought you were saying Laura.
Oh dear.
This is some haunted mansion crap.
Yep. And I guess it's but I guess it's true what they say. Mona Lisa really was a slithering snake.
I wonder how much it cost. I wonder how much like licensing or parodying rights cost for all this. Rez.
Why?
The scariest of them all. But honestly, I doubt it costs that much just to parody.
Yeah, I think it does. I think depending on how you use it, it still falls under the. Excuse me, still falls under the category of fair use.
Yeah.
Okay.
So long as you're not too blatant with it, I think you'll be fine.
Well, too
Alright.
blatant and saying I own this.
Right.
Silver.
I see it. Why am I remote all of a sudden?
I don't know. Still trying to think. So, I mean, if you guys want, I could try doing that for the channel. I wouldn't mind. I just wouldn't go. I just wouldn't go for 100% like I did last time. I'll just go for completion.
That's fair. I guess with that said, I'll probably also do a look at of Tomb Raider Anniversary, which is essentially a remake of the very first Tomb Raider game. The one that's honestly not worth playing anymore because of how goddamn stiff it
Dated.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very dated.
Oh, that's actually a question I have. Is how does this game play?
Oh, this game? It's free roaming, pretty much. There's no tank controls whatsoever, which, thank God. You can pretty much, you could do a little tail bounce right there, which is actually pretty handy. Other than that, the camera's crap. And,
You can't climb everything again.
no, you can't climb everything. You can only climb specific padding.
Well, I guess being fair, with this kind of level design, it would be a little broken if you could climb on everything.
Yeah.
Well, but then you got look at today, where we have freaking Breath of the Wild, where they can
Whoa.
climb on just about everything.
Whoa. We got the remote.
Just enough.
Now, are there bosses in this game like in the original?
Yes, there are. I want to say there's only like 3 or 4 of them at most. I know one of them is practically a freaking pig-cow hybrid thing. With a goatee. An evil goatee!
Well,
Awesome.
ow! I really grew that mustache.
And I think his name is Mushu.
Mushu. Dishonor your whole family.
Ebola! I'm so sorry.
No, we're not.
So, now, are we going to show off any boss, or is this it?
No, I honestly think that's about it, because we're already...
Whoa.
Oh, actually, there is one more thing I'll show off. The bonus level.
Dude.
Aztec 2 Stay.
Okay.
Basically, these are just extra bonuses where you get golden remotes off of them. You also get golden remotes from boss fights.
Okay.
Tail time.
DOJ. Oh,
Aztec 2 Step.
At the end of the video, let me be the guy who does the last thing. What the?
Whoop.
Not Lightspeed 10 door. Okay, kind of the same character. Whatever. I was just say I want to do the last one because I'm starting to end the part on.
Alrighty.
Alright.
But yes, now we have a bonus level where we're quite literally going through an epic George Lucas tale.
With some nice music and Harrison Ford antics.
Yeah,
Has anyone here ever seen Blade Runner?
Nope.
I have not.
I know Matt likes
So
it.
I want to try and make it. I want to make a point of seeing it before the sequel comes out.
I'll probably give it a watch myself.
I thought it was
if
a
it's
reboot.
If it's really that much beloved.
No, it's not a reboot. It's confirmed. Like this is a sequel.
Huh.
Done by the same guy who originally did the directing for the first one, if I'm correct.
Interesting. Kind of. Wait a minute. Wasn't Blade Runner like something from the early '80s?
Yeah.
Damn, and the guy's still around today to give it another shot. Kudos.
But now, and I need to talk to Matt again. He said there's like some specific version you're supposed to watch because Blade Runner was also the kind of movie where like there were multiple different cuts and takes of it. One that has Harrison Ford doing film noir style narration, which some people say is annoying and takes away from the visuals, and another version. It's one of those ones where I feel like I'd have to like take a pop quiz on what version to get. It's like a Ubisoft game.
Pop quiz: does Harrison Ford regret any of his acting decisions?
The one where I don't know if that's true or not. That big like urban legend or that big rumor that the way he got into acting was because literally someone was like
He lost a bet.
No. Someone said that it was because there were actresses who were rehearsing to be in A New Hope, and Harrison Ford used to be like a stagehand. And he decided to, as a lark, record some of the lines. Also, we got him.
Yeah.
He
Now,
was
where am I gonna keep all these?
I don't know. Whoa. And he apparently, supposedly, he just recorded not record, but he practiced doing some of the lines with the actresses just set to let them rehearse with a partner because it was like a 2-partner scene. But
Got that pigeon?
shush. and I guess the director overheard him, and then he got cast as Han Solo, I don't know, something like that.
Interesting. So yes, we found it.
There we go.
Forget about it.
Anyway,
You solved my puzzle, human. See you in the next sequel.
see you in the next reboot.
I don't think we're gonna get another sequel.
Well,
Oh, rats.
Anything else?
Undertale 2 officially canned.
well, it's on PS4 now, the big console version.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is
So
it any?
curious how they do some things with that game, but yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually. Well, actually, you know what? I probably should just keep that to myself. I think everyone and their mother knows what I'm talking about.
I was about to say, I do know that they actually have 1 or 2 rooms exclusive to the PS4 version.
Oh, interesting. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our look at on Gex Enter the Gecko for the PS1. Honestly, if you want another PS1 era 3D platformer from its time period, it is available on the PS3's PSN store. But otherwise, I mean, if you like what you saw, good. If you're kind of annoyed by Dana Gold's constant yapping of the lizard lips, then you're not really missing out on too much. So with that said, I'm JamesmanXtreme.
I'm Hyper Voice Acting.
Quick! Change the channel!
Devil damn it.
See you guys.
Tuesday.